Hello, YouTube, Tumblr, and anywhere else you guys may find this. My name is Vincent Veek, and I am the creator of TriWing. Now, I'm here to give you guys a status update on the game, but I'm doing it in a little different manner than I usually do. You guys are going to go ahead and see my face in this storage room of a bedroom I have here. So, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm making this video more so as a proposal to myself, as well as a more personal update. So, I'm going to cover three things mainly. I'm going to cover the status of the game, as well as some personal updates, as well as some things I've learned along the way that I feel needs to be addressed. Now, if you guys don't really care about personal updates or anything like that, I understand. This is supposed to be a game development blog anyway. Just know that the game is going to be under heavier development than it has been in the last few months. So, the reason I'm actually doing this is because I finally got back to working on my game today, and I realized that there has been a large gap in the time I spent working on this, and it really shows now because I'm looking at this and I have kind of forgotten half the stuff I did, so I am relearning my own code and I'm just kind of backtracking in a sense. And then I started asking myself a bunch of questions like, should I redo some of the foundations of the game? Should I push with what I have? Do I need to spend more time working on animations, or do I need to spend more time working on bug fixes or game mechanics? Where do I want to go next? How do I want to pace the game? So on and so forth moving forward. And how should I ultimately spend the time I have with this game in unison with the rest of my life? Now, when I originally started this project back in May of 2015, it was a little different. I basically had one job that I worked, and that was it. I didn't really do anything else, and I often had 8 to 10 hours a day just alone to do whatever I pleased. Now, today, in February of 2016, it's a little different. I work part-time now at a different job that is a lot more strict with hours, but I'm also a full-time student. And usually when I'm not doing that, I'm at the gym now, or I'm rock climbing, or I'm skating, or I'm out with friends, and I've got a girlfriend now, and I play other games. So a lot has happened in my life that has ultimately taken time away from me. I don't really have the time to invest in this game development thing. At least I thought. Now, that in itself is actually the number one problem that I do want to talk about in the later segment of this whole conversation I'm having. But ultimately, I slowed down on the whole game development process because things kind of hit me one by one. I got the job, and then I started going back to school, and things just kept piling on. But as this happened, I've noticed that my motivation to create this game, this dream that I had, has slowly dwindled, right? And over time, I've realized that I would work on it less and less and less because I wouldn't prioritize it as much, because ultimately, it's a game. Now, at some point, there was a good enough excuse for me to say life happens, and that is true. Life will definitely happen when you're working on anything that you find important. But it was a big enough excuse for me to drop this project entirely and then forget about it for a good amount of time. And when I had the opportunity to work on it, I ultimately didn't, because it just didn't seem important to me anymore. And obviously it is, because I've put in so much time and thought into this project. And I think because of that, because of just the whole swing of things, and because of my lack of preparation and motivation, I have brought myself into this scenario that I'm in right now. This really awkward phase of what to do next, right? I don't really know what to do next, if I'm being quite honest. I think I have a solution, and I'll talk about that in, again, this next segment here. But the point I'm getting at here is that at any point in life where you feel that there is something really, really important to you that you want to carry on, you have to remember that in order to get what you want, you have to push for it at all given points. It doesn't matter if you get complacent for a little bit. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're not making a breakthrough or you want more out of it. In order to get more, you have to try and make an effort. And that is often something that we forget, myself included. And this goes with just anything. It doesn't have to go with video games. It can go with nailing a job, or going through college, or I don't know, meeting somebody that you really like, that you want to impress, or creating something. It doesn't matter. And ultimately, somewhere along that line, I forgot that. I got carried up with, I got caught up in life, and there was this period in my game where I thought, I am really, really close to getting what I want, so I can relax. And that is a horrible thing to do. Like, if anything, I should have worked harder, and I didn't. So that was my mistake there. And there was a game development blogger that I followed a while ago, and I don't really remember his name, so if one day I find it, I'll be sure to post it. But I remember when I was younger, I would ask him what made him get into game development. Why did he do this? And his answer was essentially that you had to have the ambition to keep going at all given points, because it's going to get tough, and you have to have this willpower and this want to always do it, even when things are a little more difficult. And I remember getting into this project and thinking to myself, this is honestly a really, really difficult project for somebody who has little experience in this kind of field. And I always told myself there's the difference between a gamer and a game developer, and try not to be a poser in a sense, and don't just be a gamer who says he can make a game and doesn't pull through, because ultimately those type of people, to me personally, this is just not someone I want to be. And I think working on this whole project it's taught me a lot as far as dedication goes, and as far as motivation is concerned. And I was actually just having a conversation earlier that I tend to get tunnel vision until I eventually give up, and that's a problem. I should keep going until the very end. I need to see it through, and it's just sometimes you do need to take a step back, but you have to remember to take a step back in once you're finished, and I failed to do so. So now, in order to make up for all this lost time, I am taking the time to commit myself fully to this game whenever I am able to. So actually, I have a new phone, so I have a Galaxy Note 4 here for Android nerds. I have this, and I've been using it now for pixel art as well as revisiting my code whenever I am on the go. So this is literally just like a code machine, and I'll just look at it and look over my old code snippets. So I've been doing that a lot more. I have now also taking a pledge to not play any other video game until this game hits alpha, period. And that's gonna hurt a lot, because Street Fighter V comes out really soon, and I can't play Hearthstone, and I play Hearthstone daily. But I'm making this a really big deal to myself that in order to get this game to the point I want, and in order to be ultimately satisfied with my own project, I have to put in the time and the effort, and I've been slacking lately, so I need to make up for that. Now, I still have other things in life that cannot be avoided. I can't avoid work, I can't avoid school, so on and so forth. Now, ultimately, that's life. There isn't much you can do about it, and the way I see it, and it sounds a little harsh, especially for something as silly as a game, but if you really do want it, you will find the time and the motivation to do so. Now, don't get me wrong, people are not as fortunate as I am. I am a college student who doesn't have to pay for anything, so I can spend the time, to make a game. That's not a big deal. But there are other people out there who aren't as fortunate, and to those people, I honestly wish you good luck. But I want to make this a reminder to everybody that whatever you want is out there, and it's not going to get itself. It's up to you to go out and chase it. So hopefully within the next upcoming months, I will be able to give you guys a proper update with more progress in my game. But until then, I will see you all, and thank you for listening.